Greetings, fellow humans. Bad Mark here with another transmission from Metre Keyboards, and today, finally taking a look at the GMK61. This one I got from the Bowie store on Amazon. We've seen a lot of the GMKs come out. They sound really nice. They're bare-bone units. Now, this one, I'm actually not sure if it has its own software or if it uses VIA, as there's a mix between these. Like the original 67 the GMK67 did not have VIA, but the rest of them did. So I really am kind of going into it a little blind. So let's go ahead and jump into it and see what we've got in the box and go ahead and build this bare bone unit out and see what it sounds like stock. All right, so before taking a look at the keyboard, I do like to take a look at what's inside. We do have a manual here. Looks like it's English on one side, and it gives us all of the functionality. In the box, we also have a nicely braided nylon USB-A to USB-C cable. I prefer these. I think they're a little bit more flexible and last a little longer. And we have a switch and keycap puller, a standard wire one. So, being as it's a bare bones, we don't have much in the box, but that's fine because we're going to be building this out. And here we are with the Bowie 61. I gotta say, it's a nice looking 60%. I do like that accent light there on the side. That's actually pretty nice how that's done. We've got the pocket for the 2.4. Centered in the middle is the USB-C connector, and we have 2.4 as well as Bluetooth. We also have 3 sets of feet, and we have a pretty simple, nice wedge design on the side. Looks like we have some plate-mounted stabilizers already installed, and these are very well attached, so we've got some good tolerances. Let's see what they look like here. Yep, they have lubrication at the elbows as well as inside of the stem, and it's not overly lubricated, but it's just enough, and I do believe that these are the palm stabilizers. And surprisingly enough, we do have the possibility for screw-on stabilizers. Now that's pretty cool. I mean, this is a keyboard that can be taken to the max if you want to, replacing the plate-mounted stabs. So I think these will be just fine for most people, but having that option is really nice. Now, it does appear that we have what are called hi-fi layers with a PET clear plastic sheet above the PCB, and an IXPE sheet above that, which has delivers that refined sound profile that a lot of people are liking. Now today we are going to go with a tactile switch. This is the MMD Honey tactile, which were sent out to me by KP Republic. So this is a fully palm tactile switch. That means both the bottom top housing and the stem are palm. It has a 17mm spring. Does come pre-lubricated, has operating force of 52 grams plus or minus 5 grams, and has a bottom out force of 63 plus or minus 5. It is a long pull and has a total travel of 3.6. And as far as tactile bumps goes, this is definitely leaning on the heavy or pronounced side. This is definitely one of the more pronounced tactile switches. Now, being that it is pre-lubed, there is no ping to speak of. It has a nice design. I do like that gold color, though. It kind of reminds me of another switch. And let me see, we have the most minimal north to south wobble and barely any east to west wobble. So this is a very nice, you can tell that it's palm. It is soft, and it has a nice crisp bottom out. I think that it's going to probably lean towards the deeper end of the tone. So we're going to be loading up these MMD Honey tactiles, and today we're going to be loading these up with the XVX PBT keycaps. Now, this is called the Retro 100 palette. It's a cherry profile keycap set, And they're die sub keycaps that have a very retro look and a lot of colors available to them. These keycaps do come in 3 separate trays here, and we have an extra B, so we could probably do an Alice that we don't have the split space bars. We do have the Tsangan bottom row, so this will work with the Tsangan bottom row. And as you can see, we have different colors that we can choose to map out, and even have that 1.25 shift. We even have a stepped caps lock. So nice choices for this keycap set. Now taking a look real quick, we have 1.7 millimeters of thickness. That's about as good as you're going to get for a keycap set at this price range. I've been very pleasantly surprised with the keycap sets that XVX has been putting out. I'm enjoying using them. They look nice, they sound nice, and they have very good kitting. They will fit almost all of the keyboards that I have, minus a few odd layouts. All right, so we're going to go ahead and load up the switches and keycaps so that we can get into how this keyboard really does sound stock. One thing that I do want to make note of with some of these GMKs and other brands as well, when they're adding the hi-fi layer, for some reason or another, they are not punching out that middle post hole. Now, the rest of the pins are going to go nice and smooth through the plastic because they are actually pointed at the end, but that middle post, or the main pin, the center pin, it is a dull end, and that is more likely to stretch the plastic as opposed to go through it. So one thing that I'd recommend, now you can insert the switches as is, but as you'll see here, plastic has only been stretched. It's actually not a hole yet, it's only been stretched. To prevent any chances of bending pins or forbid popping out a hot swap socket, I highly recommend taking a spudger or something plastic. We do have a battery in there, so you don't want to use anything metal that could puncture the battery, and just slightly go through and punch out the holes. That's it. That, even if the hole is not big enough, it'll get stretched out, because now instead of it getting stretched out but not becoming a hole, it'll get stretched out to the hole that it's necessary for that center post, and that should either eliminate or completely remove any issues that we have inserting the switches. So yeah, so just go through and punch out that center post for every switch. Now, I would not worry about the other ones. As I said, the pins on the switches are all pointed, so they will basically just make their way, make their own hole, and make their way on through that PET plastic. But if you have any issues, I would take a look at this first. Like I said, either a spudger or something plastic. It doesn't necessarily need to be super sharp, just enough that it's going to puncture a hole through that plastic so that the switch can go in there without any interference. Simple enough, but it's a good tip if you don't want to encounter any issues. So let's go ahead and load up these switches and keycaps, and we'll get to the sound test. So again, this XVX set does have a really nice selection of keys. I'm going to probably come back and load them up on a bigger keyboard so that I can actually take advantage of some of these other keys and the step cap lock. I really do like the colors that they've chosen for this, and it really, for me, it does emote a retro feel. And here we are with the GMK61 fully loaded up with the MMD Honey tactiles and this lovely XVX PBT keycap set. the Retro 100. I'm loving these colors. I think that this keycap set would work with many different bass colorways. I like the design of the keyboard. It's minimal, but it has the nice lines where they need to be. Especially the way that this chin is, it kind of makes it feel that it's even lower down than it really is. But this combination actually turned out to be a little bit more clackier than I expected, but I have no complaints. Honestly, gone are the days that you get a bare bone and you load up switches and keycaps and you're like, all right, I'm going to have to do this mod and this mod and this mod. I mean, most of these keyboards that are coming out nowadays are just ready to go. I gotta say, I like that heavy bump that the Honey tactiles deliver. It's a heavier switch spring, or it's a heavier spring weight, as well as a more pronounced bump. So I think a lot of people are really going to enjoy the MMD Honey tactile if you haven't already. Now we got everything loaded up. Let's go ahead and take a look at it with the lights. They are pretty bright. They shine through just fine, even though all we have is an SMD window, but at least we have that. I'm loving that changing color there. I'll have to mess with it as far as the controls go, but we do have basic features here. Oh, we have actually keys mapped all the way to F15, F14, F13. So function A is for Windows and function S is for Mac systems. Function space is press and hold function space will reset the keyboard. Function window will lock the Windows key, and function window again will unlock it. For the RGB controls, all right, I think it's backwards. So this one you'd think increases, this one actually decreases the brightness. This one increases the brightness. All right, so we got that. It says this one increases and this one decreases, so it looks like they got those over superimposed. The direction of the lights, speed. All right, FNZ toggles this color. We got rainbow. We got a solid color that, oh, no, I think that's the solid color. So at least we can get a solid color that matches. Oh, okay, there we can actually change the color with function X. Goes through the different modes. There's a rainbow. So we can go ahead and do, what was that? Function Z. So we got breathing colors. Let's do the rainbow. Kind of matches. So we got the different colors, and we have a nice lightweight, but not like super lightweight. This, I mean, the case will flex a little bit, but it's not creaking. It's not like it's going to give. I'm sure that this will take, I mean, the GMKs that I've used so far that I've taken on the road with me, I actually dropped one down a flight of stairs, and I was like, I am sure that keyboard's done. I mean, switches popped out, keycaps popped out, put everything back together, everything worked. I was honestly surprised because it did. Head over hand went out a whole, like, extra long flight of stairs, like not just your standard house stairs, but this was in a building and it was all concrete stairs, and it literally just kind of did the carousel pinwheel down the stairs as keycaps and switches were popping off, and everybody's like, oh, and I was like, oh man. And I sat there, put everything back in, turned it on, and I was like, oh, it all works. It's all good. So they are great little workhorses for an extremely affordable price. So today I'm just going to go ahead and leave you guys with a stock sound test of the GMK61 loaded with the MMD Honey tactiles and the XVX Retro 100 die-sub PBT cherry keycaps. I will be coming back for this for sure, and I think I'm going to go ahead and plan a GMK video where I go through all the different models of the GMK that have been released so far from Zoya and Boyi, and kind of just compare them and show, what I like about them, what I don't like about them, who I think it fits. Because I think this is a good starter board for many. It's affordable, and it has, PCB has the ability for screw-in stabilizers. It's already sounding good stock, but you can go ahead and open it up and mod it. It doesn't really take much. And I'll show you when we get back to it. This is only going to take some plastic clips. This is also the same thing as the QK61. And I believe that some people are having some issues opening it up. I'm going to show you real quick how to open it up. But this keyboard does not have the QMK via. The Sea-Doo QK61 does. And I have the firmware flasher. I just don't know how to put the GMK61 into DFU mode. So if any of you guys know that, please let me know down in the comment section below. But let's get to it. So these keyboards, I don't know. I've found the GMK series to be pretty easy. This one is one of the tougher ones. It's kind of similar to the GMK67, but the way that I do it, if I have keycaps on here, I basically put my fingers between the space bar and the frame, and then I stick in a spudger, and then you can run the spudger all along the edges and the clips will come out. Now, don't pull off the top until all of the clips have been undone, because you don't want to break any of those clips, but you just run along the perimeter with the spudger, and there you go. So it's a quick and easy way to open the GMK61 or the QK61. If you have any questions, any comments, anything you'd like to see me do when I come back to this keyboard, please let me know. I do appreciate everyone watching this review. I hope you enjoyed it. I want to wish everyone out there a wonderful day. And until the next transmission, keep calm and keyboard on.